Hey loves, and welcome back to my channel. It's been a very long time since I said this, but I have absolutely missed this space. A whole lot has happened in my life. The most important one is that I have finally become a doctor. I am done with medical school. Yay! And I'm going to be sharing, part of my life and my journey with you guys. But in this video, I really just wanted to point out a couple of lessons that I learned from a story that was posted online. And I think I'm going to call this segment Dumb Thoughts. If this is something you'd like to hear, you definitely want to keep on watching. Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dr. Chidiogo and I'm a doctor. I also love to create content around food, health, and most recently sharing my random thoughts on stories that people post online, because most times when we read the stories about other people, we tend to just catch cruise with them, and then we fail to pick the essential lessons of the message that is being conveyed in the story. So I'd like to just share my random thoughts and random rants, as the case may be, and some of the stories that we read online. And I hope that it is relatable, and I would absolutely love to read your thoughts on them as well. So here is a story about a woman who was in labor for 3 days, and I'm going to read the story. I was in labor for 3 days. Hubby is in another country. He placed me on monthly salary, and before I went to the hospital, he told me he would send money for me in case of anything. I was told to go for CS, but he sent the money to his mother's account. All through my labor pains, his mother did not say anything about him sending money, and hubby's lines were on voicemail. His sister kept saying, I will deliver like the Hebrew women. Please, I beg. All along, I kept trying hubby's number so he could send money. They didn't tell me he had already sent money for the CS. I started bleeding by 1 p.m. and it became an emergency. Baby did not come out, and the doctor tried all they could. Out of frustration, I took my land documents, though not really mine, but my sister's, because I've been keeping it for her. I called her and she said I can give it to the hospital. My sister-in-law is the one who called my brother at home to bring the document, and the doctor refused to attend to me, saying until the document comes. First of all, I think this is not even very okay. I think they would have started like a preliminary treatment or something, or have someone stand in, but that's not the point of this whole conversation. When the document was brought, I was wheeled into the emergency unit, and after hours of battling with my life, I lost my baby. That's sad. When I opened my eyes, I heard hubby called. When he called again, he consoled me and said it's not anyone's fault, but it's how God wants it. Please, people should not drag my God into this matter, I beg. Anywho, moving on. I told him, had it been he listened to me and sent the money when I told him, my baby wouldn't have died. He said he did. He said he sent 300,000 naira that morning and 150,000 naira in the evening to his mom and his sister's accounts. 450,000 naira in total. I told him I wasn't told, and throughout the period of pains, none of them mentioned the money, and it was his sister who even called my brother to bring the document. Then I asked him why he didn't send the money to my account. He said he did it that way. Should anything bad happen to me, his mother and sister would have access to the money. Hey, I don't even want to get angry. See the man I married, my dear. See the man you married, true, because bro, what is going on? He was so sure I wouldn't make it out alive from the labor room. What? Why? That's why he gave them the money to keep. I couldn't believe what I heard, and waited for the day to come when I'd be discharged. When I got home, I asked them if they received any money. My mother-in-law said yes, that the money was to be paid after delivery and not as a deposit for a labor. She didn't know if I would come out fine or not. My sister-in-law said the 150,000 naira she received from hubby was for baby items when baby is born, that now that baby is no more, she would return the money to her brother. I listened to them without being able to say anything, because even me, I cannot say anything, babe. Sis, I cannot say anything. Lie. I'm short of words. I lost my baby because of them. The hospital called and said once they are able to sell the land, they would give back the balance, which my brother signed on the agreements with, or we pay in cash to get the documents back. I called hubby to pay the hospital so I could get back my sister's land documents. He said the money is with his mom and his sis. He married the mama's boy, sis. Like, this is his, oh no. That he will talk to them. Janet, I think this is the person she's writing to. Janet, it's been a month now and we have been quarreling over this issue because his mom has refused to pay the hospital 283,000. Meanwhile, she had 300,000, but she refused to pay 283,000. Make it make sense. Excluding medications, hubby said he can't be forced to have problems with his family because of hospital bills that the baby did not even survive. I'm tired of this whole thing. My brother left my house angrily, said he would rather sleep on the street than be in the same house with my husband's people. My sister said it's better to be alone than remain in such marriage. I would not jump to that conclusions yet, but I kind of just agree with her sister because, bro, I don't get it. Though my husband has not done anything to warrant my divorce, but his family has caused me so much pain. What should I do? I don't okay. I'm trying to like, why are you asking what you should, who are you asking what you should do? I mean, you're the one who wears the shoe. You know where it pinches. Anyway, moving on. I went through hell in the hospital. They were with the money, but did not say anything. Even before going to the hospital, whenever hubby sends money to me and I cook delicious meal, my mother-in-law will say if he continues sending money, he won't build many houses. Already, hubby has 2 houses, standard ones. They always complain about whatever I eat, what I wear, and when he bought a car the last time. When he bought a car the last time he came, they made him sell the expensive one and keep a low-key car for me. Okay, so the grammar is, so I'm trying to figure it out. So they made him sell the expensive car and keep like a smaller car for her. We've been married for 4 years and this baby is our first. He's a nice person, but his family is not. I'm so confused because all our dreams is living together in abroad. But as the day passes, I wonder if they will let him fulfill the promise to me. The loss of my baby is a big blow to me. Please advise me. Guys, like, first of all, when I read the story, I was filled with so much rage. I was so angry. I was angry at the mother-in-law. I was angry at the sister. I was angry at the lady. I was angry at her husband. Everybody just has their own portion of blames. Meanwhile, disclaimer, I don't know if this story is true and it's unverified. I really just wanted to share the lessons here, whether or not it's true. I just know that there are 1 or 2 things that we can pick from them and we can just rub minds together and share thoughts on stories like this. But I don't know if it is legit and I did not verify the story. So I'm just assuming that this happened to somebody and I'd rather just learn from it than wait for it to happen to me. Like I was saying earlier, everybody had their own fair share of blame, but I'm not out here to blame anybody. I'm not out here to blame the husband. He's a mama's boy and it shows. He's probably an only son. I'm not out here to blame her mother-in-law and her sister-in-law, because she probably married into an unkind family, and it shows. Because I don't understand how you let somebody go through labor pains. I mean, pregnancy and labor are like the most it's like a very sensitive time in a woman's life, and she's most vulnerable at that point. So regardless of whatever reservations you have, I think that is not even a time to start doing financial and power tussle. Like it wasn't a good time. But I'm here to speak about the babe. Sis, what's up? Like, talk to me, woman to woman. What is going on? You mentioned your brother, you mentioned your sister, the one who had the papers for the land. I mean, couldn't they have helped? Don't you have family? That is one. So I think, this is just a good time for us to not abandon our families, especially if we come from a good family. Marriage should not just make us just up and leave and abandon our families and not reach out. So I think when somebody is faced with this kind of situationship and you don't have anywhere to run to, I think home is the best place. Like, family first is a place where you can find solace, because at the end of the day, it was still her sister's land document she used as collateral to save her life. But I'm particularly mad at this woman because 9 years is a long time, and she mentioned that hubby places her on monthly salary. Did it not occur to her to save for the rainy day? Was there no percentage of her monthly allowance that she puts aside for personal use or for something? Because it's so confusing that at the matter of life and death, you did not have like 200,000 naira. It may be a lot of money, but okay, at least you didn't have 100k to pay the hospital as a deposit. You didn't have 50k, you didn't have 100k, you didn't have 150,000. Like, you didn't have a penny on you that you were in labor and you were calling your husband on the phone. Sis, you are in labor. Like, that should not even be the time. That should have been sorted out earlier. So I really just wanted to talk about the lady and just say that as young women, family, you cannot even underestimate, the power of family, the families that we come from, whether they're biological or adopted. I feel like everybody comes from a family and they should be that close-knit, because when you're in trouble like that, they're the ones that you run to. Secondly, the power of a tribe. Did she not have like friends? Or you just have friends that you do, yes, queen, go queen, and obadro dollar like this. You really don't have anybody to lean back on. Like, nobody. You didn't mention friends. You couldn't call your friends. Hobby's number was not going. Your family in-law were not being helpful. What about your friends? Let's just say maybe your family, they're not well to do and they cannot help you. What about your friends? And this just brings me to us investing in quality relationships, not being superficial in our relationships rather, especially as women. Because like I said, when John go mature, obadrodolo like this, it's your tribe that you're calling. Do you have women that would pray with you on speed dial? Do you have women that would say, look, I would stand with you on my watch, nothing is going to happen to you? Do you have friends that have turned sisters like that? Do you have a dependable tribe? So I think it's something that we should invest in, growing up as singles, as married women, as women especially. We should just invest in stuff like this. And then, did she not have a job? Did she not have a job, a skill? Because I don't understand how you're totally dependent on your husband for everything. It seems like, from the write-up, from the house they live in, to the car she drives, to, what she eats and what she wears. Because, she was talking about her mother-in-law making comments about what she wears and what she eats and how her husband is wasting money. I feel like if she had her own money, like if she had her vex money, nobody's going to be talking to her like that, because I'm spending my money. So as women, Nobody is going to come and save you. This lady's situation may be 1 in 1,000, but at least it happened to one person, and we don't know who that one person is going to be. It's just like a randomized or a random situation. So sees vex money is a thing, no matter how small. I think it's very important that every woman has something that they are doing for themselves, no matter how tiny. Even if it gives you 10 naira a day, there's just this sense of pride and fulfillment. There's just this confidence that comes with knowing that your next meal and your daily bread does not depend on anybody, a man inclusive. So I really just wanted to say that, as women, nobody is coming to save you. So have your own vex money, get a job, upskill. If you're already doing something and you want more, upskill. Be in a very good relationship with your family, especially if you come from a good family. And even if you don't come from a good family, or if you don't have a biological family, you can have an adopted family. Build a tribe, build a solid tribe. Be that friend that people would run to. Invest in people financially, your time, good counsel, your presence in their own life and in their own events. I know this may not be a guarantee that they would invest in you and they will be there for you, but at least goodie, the seed you sow would somehow come back to you. So yeah, I really just hope that she's fine. I really hope that she finds peace, and I really hope that even if she wants to work it out with her husband, which I hope she does, she needs to have a round table conversation with the man she married, because you need to grow up. You have an obligation to your wife, you have an obligation to your unborn child, and I think that it is something that should be considered and prioritized when it comes to having a relationship with your mom and your sister-in-law, because the Bible says that a man shall leave his family and cling unto his wife, and the two of them shall become one. So your wife should be considered in matters like this. I don't understand why you were wishing her dead and saying you sent the money to your mother and your sister in case something happened. Were you hoping she'd die? God, I beg. May we not marry our enemies. May we not marry our enemies. This is really like a valid prayer point. What were you expecting and saying in case anything happens, so that they'll be able to sort it out? So I just don't get it. But anyway, I hope she finds peace and she finds solace. And these are my thoughts really on this matter, and I'd love to read from you. Please do share your thoughts in the comment section. I would absolutely love to read from you and learn what you learned from this lady's experience. Also, do not forget to subscribe, and I'll be back with you on another episode of Random Thoughts, Random Rants. We'll figure that out. See you in my next video. Bye.